federal government, the purpose of taxes is to regulate the economy like a thermostat. It's not to bring in revenues. Now, this is not true for the state or the local governments. For state and local governments, taxes function to bring in money to spend, because if they don't have money in their checking accounts, their checks will bounce. The federal government is not in that position. It runs the books. So let me give you just an example that everyone can understand. If you were to go pay your federal taxes with a pile of old $20 bills, you went to the Federal Reserve, you paid your taxes with that, and they would say thank you very much, and they'd give you a nice receipt. Maybe thank you for paying for Afghanistan and for health care. And then as soon as you leave the room, they take those 20s and throw them in a shredder. Okay, they destroy the money.
Literally or figuratively?
Literally. Yes. And you can buy shredded money in Washington. What are they going to do with it? If the banks need actual cash, they give them new money off a new pile of fresh 20s they've got somewhere else. Okay. So how does taking your money and throwing it away pay for anything? It doesn't. That's not the function of federal taxes. Now, if you pay your taxes by check, something very similar happens. They just use a computer to change the number down in your bank account. They don't get anything. There's no gold coin that drops into some bucket that they have to give to somebody else.
I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States.
So the operational reality of our monetary system for the issuer of the currency is that they don't actually need our money to be able to spend. So how do they spend? And Chairman Bernanke told us this last year, and other members of the Fed have mentioned from time to time. He was asked on national TV, where are you getting all those hundreds of billions of dollars for the banks? Is that taxpayer money? He goes, not really. We just use our computers to mark up the numbers in their accounts.
Is that tax money that the Fed is spending?
It's not tax money. The banks have accounts with the Fed much the same way that you have an account in a commercial bank. So to lend to a bank, we simply use the computer to mark up the size of the account that they have with the Fed.
So he didn't call China to see if they had anything. He didn't go to the IRS. In fact, the man at the Federal Reserve who spends money, he's just changing numbers up in our bank accounts. He doesn't even have the phone number of the guys at the IRS or the emails or the people in debt management. Okay, there's no operational connection, period. You can see this with a ticket for the Super Bowl. Get this ticket, might be worth $1,000. I'd sell to you, you'd sell to me. But what happens after we go to the game? What does the guy at the ticket window do? He tears it up and throws it away. It has no value to the stadium. The issuer of the ticket doesn't have any value. It's all the users that give it back. As far as government spending is concerned, where else do we see that happen? You go to a football game. You see your team kick a field goal. The score goes from 0 to 3. Does anybody wonder where the stadium got those 3 points? No, of course not. Do we limit the number of points we can score at a football game so there'll be enough points for our children to play? No. Okay, so we understand scorekeeping. If you go bowling and you knock down 5 pins and your score goes from 10 to 15, where does the bowling alley get those points? You see them go up, they don't get them from anywhere.
He's got to pay for salaries, tanks, infrastructure. I mean, obviously that money's coming from somewhere.
Well, when you get paid,
it's not coming from those $20 bills that someone would pay.
Those $20 bills are being thrown away. Yeah. Okay, the way the government pays you is they change the number up in your bank account. That's how you earn that's how your dollars get paid. They credit the money to your account. It doesn't come from anywhere. It's scorekeeping.
The United States can pay any debt it has because we can always print money to do that.
It's straight scorekeeping. Now, the state of Connecticut's not in that position. You and I are. Households aren't. Our checks will bounce. But think of the government as like clearing their own checks. They don't have to worry about that. They're the ones changing the numbers. We're the ones getting our numbers changed. It's a completely different situation. Now, that doesn't mean government should just spend all it wants. Okay, that's a whole different point of view. What I'm saying is there is no solvency issue. The federal government cannot run out of money. There is no such thing. Okay, they're not going to run out. Now, they can cause inflation. They can cause the currency to go down. They can do tremendous injustices. They can unbalance the economy. But they're not going to bounce their checks. Government checks will never bounce. And they're not going to run out of money. And Social Security isn't broken. They're not going to bounce Social Security checks. There is no such thing. How do they make Social Security payments? They just change the numbers up in our bank accounts. It's their banking system, their numbers, their spreadsheet. It's data entry. They're making entries into their own spreadsheet. They just change the numbers up. They will never run out of Social Security money. There is no such thing. Okay? Look, the federal government doesn't have money, and it doesn't not have money.